Hi, everyone. Welcome to our live UX Masterclass. My name is Kat, and I'm training manager here. Also, thank you so much for joining today. Please let me know in the comments if you can hear us, if you can see us, if everything is working properly. I would really like to know. Once again, thank you so much for joining us. I know this was just like a jump into this masterclass, but I'm excited to start this session. And before we actually start with everything, also please put a comment in the comment section where you're watching us from, what city, what country, since we would really like to know. We like to see people from all around the world. Perfect. Thank you so much for letting us know. I now see the comments and I'm happy everything is working. So, since everything is set, let's just start with this session. Now, on the screen, you will see our agenda for today. I will give you a bit of a short recap about UX Academy, and then our lovely Natalia will take the lead for this session. She will explain what UX design is and how you can become one of them. Perfect. Hello, I see London. Hello, London. And I see Barcelona. Perfect. Welcome, everyone. Thank you so much again for joining us. And hello, Bucharest. Oh my God. Thank you, everyone, for joining us. Also, France. Lovely. So, as I mentioned, let's just give you a bit of an overview about UX Academy. We have been around for over 5 years now, actually, and we taught thousands of students. We're a London-based training company, and we do online live trainings for UX design and different UX, UI, and advanced courses, so different areas of digital design. Perfect. I see many people from London. Thank you so much for joining us. We have been around for over, as I said, over 5 years now, and we've had thousands of students. Also, as you know, before COVID, we were a central-based training company based in central London, and we taught courses in person. But after the COVID, as everyone else, we switched from live in person courses to online Zoom live courses. And now we deliver courses usually in the evenings. On Wednesday for UX UI course, Tuesday for advanced course, but it depends on the agreements and so on. But everything is live, not pre-recorded. You can ask questions, you can communicate with each other. So it's like a personal touch from our side. Our students are coming from top companies. Here on the screen, you can see some of them. Also, we have the options for in-house training, which means that we deliver courses for the companies as well. So we have many options. If you would like to see that, please check our website and go to myuxacademy.com, and you can see what we are offering and what we do. If you join our courses, this would be the tools that we are using. And I see many people joining. Hello, hello, everyone. Just to say and acknowledge every one of you. I'm so happy to see you all. If you join our course, this would be, as I said, the tools we're using. For the communication, for everything regarding the course, we're using Slack beside the email. You would have three types of group, one for the entire course where we share Zoom links, where we share slides and so on. And you will have two different other groups, one for your team, because on our courses, you're divided in teams. And you also have a client group. That's one of the important things we're going to mention later, but we are actually working on the real clients project. Also, standard tools for prototyping, Figma and FigJam. Zoom is where our courses are held, and as well Google Drive, where we store recordings, because even though if the course is live, we store the recordings afterwards in the Google Drive and the presentation and all the files you need for the course, so you can access it at any time. Also, one of the important things about UX Academy is the mentorship. If you start our course, each week for 30 minutes, you have the consultation with your mentor, where you can address any questions you need regarding the courses, regarding the career, or anything related to the client's project. You can communicate about any issues you have or any obstacles. That's very important for us because we want to give you an additional support when it comes to your successful UX knowledge. Also, these are some of the payment plans we offer for our courses. We also want to make our courses more affordable and accessible, so we offer different, as I said, payment methods. So you can check that on our site. Go to our go to our website, click About Us, and then Payment Methods. And now that was all from me. Sorry for a bit of a too much information. Now, as I said, these are on the screen. You can see our instructors for UX UI course, and one of them is joining us today. Natalia is our trainer, and I would like to welcome her so she can continue the session. Also, before she comes, I wanted to let you know during the session you can write down your questions, and we will answer them afterwards. So if you have anything right now, you can start, or during the session as Natalia speak, please put your questions and we're going to review them and answer them after the session. Thank you so much. And Natalia, please join us.
Hello, everyone. Thank you, Kat, for introduction, and thank you everyone for joining. So today I'm a little bit over serious for this call. I just back from Exeter to London, and I was on winter graduation in Exeter University, and tomorrow I am going to the other country, and that's probably what I love a lot about my job, that help me learn about the world, about the people, bring this knowledge to the digital user experience. And if you are curious about this kind of the life, and you have opportunity to work around the globe and travel, meet people, communicate, collaborate, probably it's something that you can try and maybe you will enjoy. But today we are going to talk about user experience, and we are going to talk about different possibilities for your future if you are considering, and I would be happy to answer all your questions because actually I really have international experience. I currently am in London, as I mentioned. I am going to the another part of the world. I have experience to work in South America, in Europe, in North America. Currently I'm doing some project in Canada. So it's a quite interesting try yourself, right, in a different kind of industries, right? And especially if you are changing your career and you are looking something new and you would like to be open, but also maybe you would like to be a freelancer, stay at home, work from your home, work for client that you decide. I also have this experience. So if you have any question, please let me know. I'm happy to help and try to explain how does it work. So today we are going to talk about user experience first, and I would like to start with the definition. So on this picture, you see Don Norman. I remember this face and this name because if you would like to keep going with user experience, this person is definitely the most important because he defined what is user experience, and he define the term of user experience, and we start to use that every day. So user experience is how person feel about interacting with a product. So basically, is interaction between the user and design artifact. And I have to say to you that this design artifact, it can be everything because it can be website, it can be mobile application, it can be your remote control, even your oven or microwave. It's also some design artifact. Someone designed it, right? And someone has to keep in mind how actually users, people will use it, right? So if it's a clear, the buttons on my remote control, if I know every single button, what means, or how works my oven without any instruction, can I just start to turn on and it will heating and doing all what I want? Or you need to read, I don't know, scan some QR codes, see guidelines, or go to watch videos, and that can be actually a nightmare, right? So this interaction between you as a user and any kind of artifact, that's a user experience. And it's important for us to understand that user experience is not just about how comfortable to use something, how easy to use something, but it's also about how it's enjoyable, right? Because we have to really enjoy while we are using our technology. And maybe you had this experience, maybe your parents or your grandparents, they are struggling sometimes when they are using some electronic devices, or they are using some websites, for example, when they are paying their bills online, right? Because sometimes system doesn't work properly how works our brain or intuition or our expectation, right? So you can do some stuff like pay bills online, like electricity, right? And you believe you need to click here, but it doesn't work how you expect it. So that's about user experience. That's how we have to make our life easier. And as a UX designer, that's your mission. But actually, user experience is like everywhere. I already mentioned like digital products, like mobile application, websites, and now you see on the screen one of the idea, right? So it's not just about paying or buying products online. It can be something a little bit more engaged, right? So, for example, it's a dashboard for car control, right? Because nowadays, some modern autos you can open just with your cell phone, and someone has to design this experience and layout. But also you work with engineers, right? Because you work in collaboration, because some engineers think about how that can work, and you as a designer design that. So the engagement of the job of user experience, it's also collaborate with developers, engineers, and marketing, because they are selling this idea. So you are constantly involved in the process, and you never feel alone, because you are working in a team and you bring that to the user, and your role is be responsible for the experience, right? So you are in communication with the user, and you bring your feedback from user to the table, and you talk about that, right? You talk about like what you know about the user and what they need, right? How to make their life easier. Like a user don't want to use the key, because they want to just have one cell phone and do everything, pay the bills, open the car, control the home. That's also you can do with your mobile. So user experience is also about some new technology, and technology that we will probably implement more and more in our life, like virtual reality. Probably you have heard about Facebook metaverse, and it's shaking, right? And a little bit down, but still immersive devices help in some industry. It help in education, in medicine education, right? When you are learning and you would like to show to your students something in 3D, and in this case you have 360 views, right? And you can feel, and you can enter in some buildings and enter imagine you are in school. Let's back to your time in school when you were kid, and you maybe saw the pictures, if you are lucky one, or maximum you just listen your teacher that explained to you about Egypt, right? And imagine if you have this device that you can really feel how you enter in pyramid, how you walk around, how actually looks things, and you feel you are around. So some devices, they bring the joy, some devices, they are initial, right? So depend from our life around, we can use some additional devices that can guide us, like for example augmented reality. 5 years ago I moved to London, and I was shocked how big this city and how to navigate through the city. For me it was extremely hard to find actually what I need, and I always walk with a Google Map. But they launch the street view, and for me it was like oh my god, when you go to your Google Map and you select view, you can scan the city, the cell phone, right, with the cam, scan the city, identify where you are, and start to guide you and show to you direction. For me that was a magic of technology, because really I lost myself in the city, and that was like oh my god, I really can follow. It's not just a map that is flat, right, and you try to follow. And probably you have seen people when they are doing that with cell phone, try to identify where they are. And in this case you really scan the street, and it shows to you that you are walking in this street and it's here. And probably you already have heard about new device from Meta with glasses. It's glasses already improved. It was before just sunglasses. Now you can make it as an optic. So if you use glasses every day, that would be a great for you, where you have much better calm. So every day we improve in our life, adding some technology and make our life easier. Maybe someone would say, I don't need it. I live in my city since I born and I am already 30, 50, 60. I know every single street in this city. I don't care. But it depends of your life, right? And life people around and your users. So for some people, that's what the initial, like for me, helped me a lot and helped me until today every day. But how about technology that you use for your, for example, gym at home? Someone has to design that too, right? That's a great time when you can do exercise in a very good machine just in your home. You probably remember we all have this time we stayed home. It was quite challenging for everybody, and Peloton that moment became super popular. Why? Because the machine itself was so good quality. It didn't take a lot of space in your home, but also you had a great interface that help you work on yourself, right? You can do immersive experience, or you can even do the classes, right? So it you feel that someone with you and you work together. That someone designed the interface, right? So again, you work together with engineers, you program how that will work, how user will feel. You test a lot, right? How is it? How heavy should be this machine? How you have to synchronize what you see on the screen and how works the bicycle itself. So again, someone has to think about this interface, design this interface, and implement that. So that's also about user experience, how you experience this bicycle with the screen. And of course, control home from cell phone, right? I'm sure each of us had this at least once. Oh, how is my iron? Did I turn off that or not? Did I close door? Did I turn off light when you're already in the airport? So we can control our home from cell phone, right? And that's already advanced technology, right? And we can control almost all our life just with cell phone. For that, we need user experience designers, right? So we are work on different range of experiences, different range of devices, and different applications to make our life easier, smarter, right? And of course, not everyone will use this or this application, but world is big, right? Is a global, right? And as I mentioned, my experience is international. So people in Latin America need something, people in Europe need something else, people in North America require something totally different. For example, in UK it's a winter, in Australia it's a summer, right? So it's already totally different world, right? While you are celebrating Christmas in your Christmas jumper, someone celebrating in bikini, right? So to understand what people need, you need to study people, right? And for that you need to understand the users to bring them this experience and give them what they need. So I have for you here a slide that maybe more visually illustrate better the user experience as a definition. That's what we just discussed. User experience is this interaction between the user and artifacts. And artifacts, it can be VR, AR, it can be any application, any website, maybe in your day-to-day job, if you are currently switching career and you're working in totally different industry, maybe you use some application, maybe you use Microsoft Excel or whatever dashboard. That's also artifacts. So that's also some product that you use. When we speak about user experience in a digital world, we mainly speak about application, web platforms, websites. If you speak about user experience in a product design, like a physical product design, it can be any product that you use. It can be car and also require user experience, but it's physical world. In our case, we are talking about digital world user experience. So I would like to talk about how UX designers work, right, and give you a little bit perspective and explain how I work, my experience, and the designers around me work. So UX designers make technology easier and help user complete their day-to-day task faster and easier. So our mission as a UX designers, it work on understanding our users. So what we are doing, we try to explore our audience, because we always say you are not a user. So if you are a user experience designer, it doesn't mean that you are designing for yourself, right? You design for your users. Maybe you are one of the user of the product, but in my experience, quite often I design for someone else, right? So as an example, I design a platform for a European medicine agency. It was a platform for trials, pills trials in Europe. And I'm not working in medicine, I'm not working in a environment of pharmacy. I don't know much about that, but I need to design the platform for people that working on that. How we can do that? We need to understand and empathize with users, right? We try to understand actually what they need and design for them for their needs. And how we design? We design with paper and pencil, and we design digitally, right? So why we use paper and pencil? It's because we want very quickly sketch ideas, think, brainstorm, and actually user experience designer brainstorming a lot. Every day you have hours and hours thinking how to make things better, how to improve, how to design something completely new. And what is interesting, you have time and you have a space for experiments, right? So you are experimenting, would it work or not? And basically design is not about just one right way to make things. It's about experiments, test, and that's part of your job, right? When you're experimenting, you're testing, you see the result. Will it work or not? It's okay to fail, because if you don't try, you don't know. For that, we have approach that help us understand that our solution is the right solution for our audience. Probably you have heard about design thinking framework. Design thinking is one of the most common method that help you create idea, test this idea, and take a decision, implement that or not. And design thinking include 5 stages. So empathize, it's when you try to understand your users. And as a UX designer, you learn about users, about their behaviors based on their gender, location, income, and you try to just try their shoes, right? So empathize as much as you can. And while you are learning and you are a student, right, and you are in the beginning of the journey, you use different techniques how to understand user, what kind of methods exist. It's maybe one of the methods can be interview. So you go, you talk to people, and for that you need to know actually what question to ask, right? So you have to understand what method in what situation, what approach you have to take to understand the users. When you know about your user, you know about their lifestyle, about their problems, you can organize your findings and understand the pain points actually. So you are defining as a second stage of design thinking process, what is the problem, right? What you have to solve. And define the problem, it's a part of the UX designer jobs, but also user experience researcher. Maybe you already know about user researcher. Maybe you just have heard that we have not just UX designers, but also UX researchers. We will mention that later a little bit, what is the difference. And then when you define the problem, maybe alone, maybe together with the team, I hope together with the team, you ideate. That's the moment of creativity, right? Here you start to experiment. Here you start to try to find the solution, and you have open mind, and that would be great if you can bring more people. It can be developers, engineers, it can be people from marketing, sales team. So you ideate together, or you can ideate just with the design team. That's also totally fine, right? But you bring different perspective, and then you are going to prototyping. In the case of our digital design, right? We talk about prototype like digital assets. It's a website, maybe platform, maybe application. But what is nice about prototype, you make a prototype just with your design. You don't involve developers in this process. You just put all your design assets, your ideas together, and you make it, in the case of digital, right, clickable. So basically you create some flow, so step by step how user can achieve something. You connect that together and you get the prototype. So prototype help you to make things touchable and clickable, right? Or if we speak about flat screen and touch screen, it's a tap, right? So you can tap around and you can feel how is the product. And you go to the test. It's a moment when you talk to your users, right? So you empathize in the beginning, and then with your solution, your idea of the problem you're trying to solve, you test. So if you try to find a better solution to book tickets to travel, for example, train tickets, you try to uncover what is the problem, what is the current system in this particular country and city, why it doesn't work properly. Probably already exists some solution, maybe some website, maybe application, but why still users struggling? Right? You try to uncover this problem. That's what be your process between empathize and define. And when you define what is the problem, maybe the system is, maybe interface itself not clear, maybe not intuitive, maybe too many steps to book a ticket, right? So you can improve it. You go to test and you see the result. If your solution is better and help people or not, that's totally fine. So if you are fail in your test, you just go and find another solution. If you're lucky one and you have a lot of experience, maybe you will find solution that will work from test one, but maybe no. So for that, you need to test and know that their solution is a right solution. But design thinking is not a linear process, right? So in every single step, you can go and back, go and back. And that's also make it very flexible for us as a UX designers, because we can go to the step number 2, like a define, and identify that actually we don't know very well our users and we can back. Or we already can test, and during the test we define that actually our problem is not solved and probably we need to back and ideate because it doesn't work how we expect. You ideate, you prototype, and you go test again. Sometimes during the usability testing or your idea testing, you identify that actually you need to back to the initial point and better understand your users. That also can happen. So it's not a linear process, and you back to any stage you need when you feel it. So that's a design thinking, and you can apply design thinking to actually everything around you, not just about the design. You can think about design thinking in any industry when you need to solve some problem. So if you now in some industry, think about something that you are trying to solve in your day-to-day job, and maybe design thinking is something what you need. So if you take off from your mind that design thinking is just about visual design, maybe that will work for you. And here I have for you a nice example that show what is the difference about good and very good design. So in the left side, you see remote control. Not bad, right? And actually, I have this remote control. But if you ask me, what is this red, green, yellow, and blue button? I don't know. Why they are red, green, yellow, and blue? I don't know. And probably I would need to read something to understand that. And I have few more buttons that I have never ever pressed, and that not bad, right? For some purpose, so for some users, it's make a lot of sense, but not for everybody. And as you see on the right side, it's another kind of remote controls that remove everything and left just a few buttons that you use each time, right? Turn off, volume, right? And go from channel to channel. That's all, right? So we, as a UX designers, sometimes have to simplify things, and quite often simple is better, right? So make something simple to use. That's the idea. So you have to enjoy, and if it's something easy to use, you will enjoy, because everything what you use for some purpose, right? So you want to achieve some goal. It can be different goals. It can be work, it can be study, it can be pleasure, but it's some goal. You use something for some purpose. So that's, I think, the one of the best illustration, right, about physical work, what is easy, not so easy, right? When you question yourself why I have this button and what this button is doing, and how can I use this device, right? And another, when you have just a few buttons and you remove everything what is not necessary or make things more complicated. So as a UX designer, that's your mission: make things easy and more enjoyable. And I would like to talk with you a little bit about the common skills for UX designers, because everything what you need to know um, to uncover the problem, to study the users, to ideate, it's your knowledge. And we call that hard skills, right? So it's your technical skills. So you learn about research methods, you learn about the wireframing, prototyping, design tools, like for example, how to use Figma, one of the most popular design tool, or another tool that called SketchUp, or how to use some prototyping tools like InVision. So it's your hard skill, technical skills. But also you need the soft skills for your workplace. And maybe you already try to read some job description requirements for UX designers, and probably you have seen like teamwork, collaboration, good storyteller, good communication skills. Why? Do you remember I told to you that the job and my job and job of UX designers involve collaboration in multidisciplinary team. So you have to communicate with front-end developers, back-end developers, with the team who sell the product, team, for example, customer service. If you have some online, for example, product and you have customer support. So you have to collaborate, communicate, and of course, collaborate, communicate with designers, right? And work together. Not always it's easy, because design, it's a very subjective, right? So you need to take a decision, create something innovative, explain your idea. For that you need to be a good storyteller, right? Give a story why you have this solution instead of something else. And of course, listen other people, provide the critique. We call it design critique. It's when you speak about the solution of someone and you try to provide feedback, and it's not always good. Sometimes you need to say something bad, and it's actually, if you study or maybe have heard in art school, it's one of the most common right exercise. You critique the work of others, so you provide feedback, what can be better, what can be improved, right? So you need to have some soft skills to work and collaborate with team, and also collaborate with your users, right? So first step is understand users. So you need to talk to people, listen their pain points, analyze this information, analyze their life behavior, and make their life easier, right? Sometimes you need to go to the interviews and talk to people. Sometimes you do some online forms and you just analyze the data as a result of the form and questions. But anyway, in the moment you will be in touch with your customers, with your users, because usability testing, test of your solution, that would be probably part of your responsibilities. So that would be great if you can easily communicate, collaborate with people. And one of the most common tool, what I just mentioned, as a hard skill, technical skill, it's Figma. every day Figma more and more popular. Figma has now very big influence on design, and recently Figma announced lots of features in collaboration between UX, UI, and developers. So now basically everyone can work together and make it a smooth and very friendly environment to work together with developers, because as a designer you not depend of your speciality, you would communicate and collaborate with developers. And when I talk about your role or your speciality, I speak about the different roles in design, because you can be UX designer, we are talking today, but actually you have much more opportunities in design fields. So if you look in our diagram on the top, you see product designer, right? So digital product designer include user experience design, visual design, content design. If we go deep to the user experience design, it's user research and interaction designer. But actually, you can be just user researcher or interaction designer or visual designer or focus on content design. That's totally fine if you want to be a specialist in a very narrow field, or you can be more open and you want to work in UX design and UI design, and also think about interaction, how elements will move on the screen, what will be the user flow, how user will go from screen to screen. Maybe you are enjoying that. For that, you need to try yourself. And your UX knowledge, it's fundamental for probably every single career what you see on the screen. Because if you understand users, you can better design the visual design and make better user interface design. I will give you example. If you speak about visual design, right, you speak about colors, fonts, shape of elements, size of elements on the screen. And if you speak about user experience, you are thinking about interaction, right, between user and artifact. And with visual design, just with the color, you can change everything on the screen. Let's imagine we have a one screen where we have one call to action, one button, buy now. You can decide as a visual designer the color of this button. It can be a red button, or it's something can be less, right? So it can be light blue or green color that will not take all your attention to the screen. Same about the size. It can be small button on the bottom, or it can be big button on the middle of the screen, right? So you as a designer take a lot of decision and you guide your user where user is going to the next, right? So what will be the next screen and how to achieve the goal. Of course, as a business, you would like to sell more. You would like, of course, more people buy your product or maybe register on some kind of training, or you would like more people subscribe newsletter. So every single product actually have some goal, right? So business goal. And you as a UX designer, you help to achieve this goal. You try to make your product more engageable, right? And you bring people with a different purpose, right? So buy the product, or as I mentioned, register it or for some event or go to the event, right? So maybe you would like to sell something or buy something, right? So we help business to make this decision, and our role is to be this balance, to be this bridge between user needs and business goals. And one of the most common questions, of course, it's about the salaries, right? So I decided to add this slide about the salaries because I know it's hard to understand the investment in your education and what you can get. Some colleagues my colleagues, they want to be UX designers because they felt they want to do this job. Some of my colleagues, they stepped to this career because they saw that they have a good income, and actually it's not bad from their point of interest, right? So I would suggest you Glassdoor. It's one of the platform that allow you to put the location, right? So, for example, United Kingdom and the career, right? So, for example, UX designer. You also can add a little bit more context. So, it's a junior level or it's a senior level, and you will see range of salaries more or less to understand average what you can make. As you see, this screen is from August 2022. If you will go to the Glassdoor, I am sure they have more updated version for 2023. So you can more or less understand your income right in the future. So what you can get as a junior designer and what you can get in a senior or lead position. So I would like briefly go through the course and explain a little bit how does it work. And I would like to explain to you a little bit more about the structure, how works our system and how we work as a team in UX Academy. So what would be your journey? So everything what I just explained, you will learn, right? So you will learn about design thinking framework, every single step of this framework, and every single week you will learn something new to achieve your goal, right? To achieve your goal as a UX designer, and its goal depend of the product. So UX Academy give you some unique opportunity because you will work on a real client project. What does it mean? You will be in touch with the company that are looking for UX solution. That can be something from beauty industry or from healthcare industry. It can be from England, can be from other countries. So you don't know at this moment, and I don't know in this moment that will be next project for you as a student. You will work in the groups, so you will work with your teammates, and that will help you build this skill to work with others, listen their opinion, provide them feedback, and also receive feedback. So it's not easy when someone talk to you and speak about like, oh, actually, this is not good idea, right? So you become stronger to defeat your idea and also listen and maybe really make changes, because opinion of other is also make a lot of sense because someone look from other angle on your solution. So each week will include class, fun work, and mentorship. So class include theory, and you will, during the session with your tutor, listen the theory, some practice in the groups during the session, so you can ask the question. It's 100% live session. Then you are going to the fun work, and fun work, it's about your home task. So you are going to work on your project, and based on the project you are working, you will solve the real problem for the business, right? So you will need to gather with your client, understand the requirements, have information about users, talk to the users, right? And have all the necessary information. And each week you will get new knowledge and apply this knowledge to achieve your goal and complete the project as your client project. And of course, mentorship. So after each class, you will have a time to speak to your mentor, with your team, collaborate with someone who will help you answer the questions. Because you, of course, have time during the session, ask the questions, but also you need some help because it's your very first project to understand actually how to implement this knowledge, how to implement this method, what I need to do, what my next step. And for that, you have a mentor. Mentor is someone who help you based on their experience. So, for example, I have experience. I have over 15 years of experience in UX UI industry. And if you ask me some question, I will give you my answer based on my knowledge and my experience. So that's 8 weeks, and each week you will have class, mentorship session, and your team work on your project. As you see, we split our 8 weeks into two groups, so two parts, and part one will be with you, all right? Part two, if you will join, will be with you. So week 1, 2, 3, 4, it's a half of your journey where you will learn about user experience design, and you will go deep dive in introduction, right? Because we have very limited time today, and I just briefly explained to you, you will go much deep dive. Then you will work about, or you will learn about the research, and you will understand how to understand the user, how to define the problem, how to ideate, and of course, how to wireframing your idea. During this time, you will start to more and more put your hands in design tools. And in week 5, you already will prototype your idea. So during this time, you will learn Figma as a tool. So you will have your initial beginner level of Figma. So if you don't have any experience, that would be a great time for you to start to work in Figma and start to be more familiar with design tool. That's one of the most common tool and most required in the market. Then you will test, iterate your idea. That's all what we discuss. And 8 week, it's more about your project presentation, because that's also very important part, because you as a designer present all what you have done during your project, right? So you present your design assets, you present your solution, you show what you have done, and you listen feedback, right? So that would be your project presentation preparation. So it's a guidelines how to present the project, how to organize your case study, how to prepare your portfolio, what portfolio should include, and of course about your next steps, what you can do, and where you can go, and what you can learn more to be better, and maybe learn more about user experience, or maybe you will think about something new, and instead of UX you would like to deep dive in UI. That's totally fine. As I explained, that's happening, and that's totally okay. And if you learn UX and UI, you even can become UX UI designer, or in the future product designer. That also can be nice for you. So that's all what I would like to share today. I would like invite Kate back to the stage, and thank you very much. I hope you learned something new, and happy to answer all your questions.
Thank you so much, Natalia. It was wonderful, actually. And if someone has any questions, you can start with the questions right away in the comments. We would like to review them and answer them. And I want to say one fun fact. Actually, I took the last course at UX Academy, and I can confirm on my side it was very interactive. And if someone wants to learn more about it, please drop me a message in the comments so I can tell you about the actual client project. If you would like to hear about it, let me know so I can tell you more about it. Or if you have any questions about so far what we spoke about UX design, about any specific role of the whole design process, please let me know. As I said, like before, I just want to recap everything we spoke about. Our classes are 100% live, which means that it's not pre-recorded. We record the session, which means that you can access it afterwards with all the slides. And of course, when you finish the course, you get the certificate, which is your confirmation of your knowledge. And we have mentorship, which Natalia specifically described in details. And we offer flexible payment methods. And also you work on a real client's project. So far, does anyone have any questions? Would you like to know more about the client project, or do you have any questions about UX design in general? Do you want to, for example, hear from my experience about? Okay, perfect. I see a few questions now. So I think this is the one. Yeah. Do you need to have a design skills to have a natural ability for design, a work in marketing, and I considering a change into UX design? Okay, so I can rely on it. I know Natalia would like to answer this question, but I can say I can rely on I can confirm this because I used to work in marketing, and from my perspective, it's UX design is everything you work so far. It's sometimes we're not familiar with the phrases we're using, but I would say everything you do is a bit of a UX design because our focus is on users, which means that even though you have marketing skills, that's a plus because every time you're approaching something, you have to understand your clients. So, and on my side, I can say you don't need to have much skills to start because our course can help you with that. But Natalia can guide you more into the details about how you actually can combine those two skills. So, Natalia, please take the lead.
Yeah, so I agree. And user experience is all around us, right? But if we speak about the design skills, I think here is a question about graphic design, right? When we talk about the colors, right, and how to combine the colors. And that's slightly different because visual designers, they focus on that. So visual designer, they focus on colors, shape of the elements, typography, and you need some knowledge on that. And UX design mainly focus on experience, right? So you work in collaboration. So if you are not UX/UI designer, you are just UX designer, your job finish on wireframes, what means your idea in a grayscale is just black and white. And then you work in collaboration with UI designer, and you together take a decision where user has to click or where user should go, right? And UI designer will help to make your idea bright, right? So guide your user so you together can decide. For example, if you're designing an application for a gym, right, you probably will have a question, what font we have to use or what color we have to use. And in this case, when you are asking yourself this question, right, you will probably need some guidelines. But if you want to focus on UX design, you don't need to be worried a lot about font or colors or the shape of the elements. You're more focused on engagement, on usability, and about simplicity, and of course satisfaction. So that's what your primary focus. And even you are not very good at colors, you don't need to be worried about that at all.
Perfect. Thank you so much. We have actually a lot of questions, so I want to go one by one. Let's go to the next one. What kind of support is available to help get the job after completing the course? So, Natalia, do you want to answer or should I answer?
Kate, yeah, you have much more experience with that because it's after students complete. So yeah, I think you will be the right person.
Perfect, thank you. So actually, when you finish our course, you get the certificate. But on the last session of our course, you get the complete guidance of how to find the job, what is the best support you can find, the advices you can look for, how to create your first portfolio. Your, I would say, major thing is you will have the actual client that you work on, so you can put that as a case study in your portfolio. And after that, on the last class, you will get the full support in terms of how, well, where to look at, how to create a portfolio, what sort of CVs to create, and so on. So the more you go dive into the course, the more answers you will get, of course. Also, I see here is another question on the top I missed. So, how much is the course? The course actually is £1,500, but you can, as I said, we have flexible payment methods, and you can check on our website. Go to our website, myuxacademy.com, about us, and then payment plans. So you can see what options do we offer and how you can apply for the course. So let's go for the next question. What do employers pay attention to when hiring a UX designer? What do employers pay attention? Okay, so sorry. And what will be the main plus for beginners? Okay, Natalia, I think this is your expertise actually.
Yeah, so one of my uh, I work in a different kind and type of company, design agency and startups, and in the big four. And I have to say to you that different teams and company, they have their vision, right? So, and in different period of time, they're looking different skill set and also different personality. But what is important for beginners, right? At show how you are in your soft skills, right? So how you are collaborative, how you are as a storyteller, how you are confident in presentation of your job, and how you are willing to learn, right? Because beginner, it's all about learning, work as a shadow with someone more experienced, but of course, you have to show some experience. Maybe it's case study, like for example, while you're learning, you are doing some case study, or you are doing some case study for the project that inspire you, and you can redesign Wikipedia or any website that you think needs some redesign. It will be your case study, and you put your ideas, and you need to make it very carefully to explain what you have done, why you have done that, right? To explain your thinking, how do you think, what approach you use, right? And design thinking is one of the approach, so make clear that you know and you will fit well to the team to work together, and show how you are careful with pixels, right? So how organize you as a person, so your artifacts, your design assets, if you have done research, how you organize your findings, so show what to expect from you, right? Even if it's not the best because you don't have yet experience in industry, you haven't designed hundred of applications, but you can show what to expect from you, right? So expectation, that's probably what you would need to show, and attention to your soft skills, so how you are good in collaboration with people and how you will fit to the team, because as a beginner you will learn from the team. So you highly probably will have 2 or 3 rounds of interview. One of them will be with HR, and then someone from team, usually it's a lead and senior level, will talk to you. I mean, lead designers and senior designers talk to you to understand your background as a knowledge, especially in user experience design. So what kind of research methods you know. Maybe in your portfolio, in your case study, you use just interview, but what else you know, right? So how uh, like your knowledge, right? And you can even have like a questions. Imagine this situation, what kind of research method would you use? Also, they would like to know what design tool you know and how your expertise in this design tool. And that's what I think would be your main questions in the beginning um, of your journey as a UX designer.
Perfect. Thank you so much. And let's just review one more question. What is the most effective approach for a front end developer to master UX UI design? Could you also recommend any essential books on this topic?
Yeah, so front end developers really work very close to the UI designers, right? And less close, but still with UX designers, if UX UI designer is same person. So what I would suggest, right? If you are front end developer, I would suggest you master tool, design tool, like for example, Figma, so you can sketch and provide very quickly your idea and your feedback if you think should something be better, especially if we talk about application, right? You as a front-end developer, you can suggest something, right? Some interaction on the screen, because you can even play role a little bit like interaction designer, right? In this case, and about the skills, right? So you can have some initial thoughts about user experience, what would be better, and your technical capabilities will help understand actually would it fit or not. For some perspective. Maybe it's idea great, but you know that for that I don't know, budget, or you cannot for example spend time to make this, and you can suggest something that easier to make. So the book, what I would suggest start to read Don't Make Me Think. So that's probably the initial reading for everyone actually who would like to learn about UX design. Uh, Sorry, don't make me think. I say, right? Not don't make me think, and that's something initial that easy to read. It's a Steve Crook, and you can learn a lot about user experience and how people think. So that's, I think, initial reading what you can start. And maybe you can read some books about UI design that also maybe help you with some visual composition. And I like book from O'Reilly. And if you are a front-end developer, I'm sure you know about O'Reilly. It's a publisher, right? So they have lots of good books for developers and also for designers. So they have UI Pattern. It's the name of the book, a third edition. That also would be probably good initial reading for you as someone who is curious about UX UI design.
Perfect. And I see we have two questions from AA. Sorry, not do not know your full name, but do you have to make the logos yourself at your job? So I think that Natalia can agree with me on this. Is just every time you start to work with someone new, you're actually following their patterns of their design and their approach and so on. So if the client requires you to design the new logo, then in that case you're working on. But if you're actually working on the existing product or existing service or something, then you will actually adapt your skills to it. And Natalia, do you agree with me on this?
So if we speak about like a logos yourself, like your brand, right? So definitely, because you in the end, as an artist, right, as a designer, yourself, your skill set, your portfolio, and actually you build your brand from scratch. And during the course I explain how it's important to have your social media, how to run your social media, right? So how to show yourself as a designer, right? And what would be bonus for you, because every hunter, right, so or HR who is looking for designers, they always check your social media, who you are as a person, as a designer, what is your personality, how you will fit to the team, and based on that they contact you, right? So you right person for that company, for that culture or not. So if we speak in this question a little bit about the branding yourself, yeah, that's definitely matter.
Perfect. And I will answer the last question so far. Is it possible to see one of your projects? Yes, of course. So actually, on the screen right now, you see our email, our social media, and our website. So if you would like to see our projects, or if you have any questions, first you can visit our website. We do have a lot of blogs about our projects of each step, what our students did before, and so on. Also, there are stories about what they did in the past, like each course and each client. How did they approach it? What's the story behind, and so on. So please, if you would like to see how our projects are defined, go to our website, to our blogs. Also, if you would like to have some personal information, like if you feel like you're missing something on the website and so on, you can send us an email on this training at myuxacademy.com, and we will share more information with you. So for any questions, of course, as well, we do actually post our blogs as well on social media, so you can easily access them. So make sure to check our Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and of course, follow us back. And I think that if you don't have any other questions, I would like to thank you all for joining us. Thank you so much for your questions as well. And thank you so much for being interactive into this session. If you feel like we can help you with anything else, here is the information you can contact us, and we will gladly help you. Thank you, Natalia, once again.
Thank you very much.
It was a lovely session, and thank you all for joining us today, and have a lovely rest of the evening.
Bye.
Bye.